Hi, my name is Lindy from Project Portfolio Office. So we all know in the project world that keeping the communication lines open ensures that stakeholders are always informed on things like progress, or if we need help or guidance on getting a risk mitigated or an issue resolved. So PPO has a couple of mechanisms that supports collaboration, and that's what I'll be covering in this video today. I'm going to start off with email notifications. So PPO has predefined email notifications that have already been set up out of the box, but your PPO administrators also have access to either add new events or update the existing ones. So just flipping over to PPO, I'm going to be using the risk entity as an example. So going through to my risk list, if I were to edit a record, whether I do it using the side panel or if I use the inline editing, if I were to update this risk to closed, Stephen, as the risk owner, will get an email notification saying that this risk has been updated, and it will also show what the new values are. So here is an example of an email notification that you would receive from PPO if items have been updated. So this is an example of a risk that has been updated. On the email, you can see what the current state of affairs is, and then at the bottom, it specifically shows you what the changes were on the specific item. So here you can see the probability changed from a 3 to 2, the owner changed from Stephen to Barry, and the follow-up date changed to the 7th of November. A second method of collaboration is the feed widget. So the feed widget is here on our main menu on the far right-hand corner. So if I just click on that, you'll see I have 3 notifications. So firstly, the feed widget supports the use of conversations. So if I were to view one of my risks, at the bottom of the view page, you'll see the conversation pane. So I either have the ability to start a new conversation, or I can respond on previous updates on a conversation. So as an example, if I reply on this one, I can tag a resource. So how we tag somebody to get a feed notification is you use the @ sign and then you select the resource and you basically just type up your message. Once you've typed up your message, you simply click on submit. That would trigger a notification to the feed for Adrian de Villiers. We also have a business rule, which is a send to feed notification. So if an item is updated on PPO, you will get a notification in your feed. So as an example, if I just open up this risk and I do an update over here, with the exception of having the ability to get the email notification, if I do this update, it will also send through to the feed. Lastly, when it comes to the feed, on our home page, we have the ability to include a My List widget. The List widget allows you to have as many lists as you wish, and you have the ability to add items in PPO into your list. So I'll quickly demonstrate that. So if I am on this risk and I want to flag it on my list, we just use this My Save to List icon and I can pop it into any one of my lists on my home page. What this means is if anyone updates any of these items that I've added to the My List widget, I will get a feed notification. If there's one or two that you don't want a notification for, you can always just switch off the notification on the List widget. Looking at the notifications itself within the feed, here you can see I've got 3. Here I was mentioned in a conversation. I can actually see what the conversation was. I can either draw through to this record or I can just mark it as read. Here's another one. If I click see more, an issue has been updated over here and I can literally see what the changes were on that issue, thereby not needing to drill into the record itself. Here is a third one where I was mentioned in a conversation. The last one that I want to cover is report mailers in PPO. So your PPO administrators have the ability to set up report mailers using any report and dashboard in PPO to send to a specific group of users on a specific frequency. So example of that, I'm going to say the alert and reminder report. So to get to this, you hover over reporting, select reports, project category, and this is the name of the report. Looking at the report itself, it's basically focused on everything that's overdue that needs your attention. So a good example of one that can be used for a report mailer. I hope you guys found this valuable, and thank you very much for watching.